In this video, we're going to talk about using function notation. So we have a problem for f of x equals negative 2x plus 5, and we're looking to figure out what the output is for the given inputs of negative 3, 0, and 1/4. So a couple different things. So function notation, first of all, is where we write y. Instead of writing y, we write f of x. We might use g of x or h of x, depends on what the function, what we call the function. So in this case, it's f of x. I've listed my inputs. Remember, the inputs are the x values, also known as the independent variable. And then we've got our little machine here, this function rule, f of x equals negative 2x plus 5. That's like a machine. So I'm feeding the input into the machine. I'm going to put it in place of the x, and it will chug out an output, which is the f of x or the y value, also known as the dependent variable. So what I would do in this case, I'm going to write f of negative 3. Now that doesn't mean f times negative 3. That's a notation to say, hey, my input or my x value is negative 3. So what do I get out of it? So this is just a notation. Don't go multiplying negative 3 times the f. I'm going to take that negative 3, and I'm going to plug it into the x in my machine. So I've got negative 2 times negative 3, which is 6, plus 5 is 11. So my output, or my dependent variable, will be 11. So I'm going to do that for the next one as well. My notation, f of 0, I'm going to go over to the machine. I'm going to drop a 0 in for x. So negative 2 times 0 is 0. I add 5 to it, and I get 5. I can do the same thing for a fraction. If I have f of 1/4, get in the habit of making a fraction bar like this. I know you guys like that fraction bar. It looks really nice, but it can get messy as you're trying to write variables next to it, determining what's a numerator, what's a denominator. This way you know, hey, my 1 is in the numerator, my 4 is in the denominator. I can put my variables in the correct location. So get used to using this fraction bar. So I'm going to go my negative 2, put the 1/4 in the x position, and now do a little math on it. So this ends up being negative 1/2. If I add 5 to it, I get 4 1/2, or 9/2. All right, so that is using the table to determine output values from my function.